Tyler Badie could have transferred being Missouri's second string running back the past 2 years, and no one would have really blamed him. Instead, Badie decided to wait for his opportunity and took advantage of it when it finally came, when he was finally named the Tigers starting running back going into the 2021 season. It makes the amazing season he is having even more special as he closes in on the program's record for most rushing yards in a season. But who is Tyler Badie? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and pro athletes. If there's a player you want to see in future episodes, make sure to let me know in the comment section below. Tyler Badie grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana during a crazy time period. When Tyler was 6 years old, his family was forced to evacuate New Orleans due to Hurricane Katrina. They packed everything they could, but were forced to leave photographs and other cherished items. Then they got in the car and drove to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The trip served as a bonding opportunity for the family, but when they returned to New Orleans, they found their house in shambles. Immediately, Tyler's mother started looking for work and found a job in Baltimore. Around this time period, Tyler started playing the trumpet, although he wasn't very good at it. The one thing he was good at, though, was playing the game of football. He impressed on the field the way he juked defenders out of their shoes and blazed past them. Then, when Tyler was a junior, his mother accepted a job in Memphis. Tyler decided to attend Briarcrest Christian High School, which is known for the blind side because Michael Orr played there and Hugh Freeze coached there. Tyler quickly became a star in Memphis, but he did not immediately start at running back. Head coach Brian Stewart told The Athletic, "We had a kid that was a senior running back, and I didn't know who this Badie kid was. He's playing corner, and I'm like, we gotta get the ball in this dude's hands." Stewart got the ball in Badie's hands, and he began to turn college coaches' heads. Tyler finished the year rushing for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns on 40 carries, while also having 157 receiving yards on 117 receptions as a junior. After the season, Badie attended multiple camps including the Rivals Combine in New Orleans, and he hoped to impress in the shuttle run, vertical jump, 3-cone drill, and 40-yard dash. And that he did, finishing with a 4.304 second 40 time. Going into his senior year, Badie had developed a reputation as one of the toughest and most durable ball carriers in the area. Badie told Commercial Appeal, "That's my background. Everything I had to do in life, I had to work hard for. It just shows on the field. Missouri is getting a playmaker, running, returns. Anything you need me to be, I'll be there." Tyler finished his senior year rushing for 1,186 yards and 18 touchdowns, while also having 306 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns on 19 receptions. He had 6 games of over 100 rushing yards or more as a senior and led Briarcast to a 9-2 record in the state quarterfinals appearance. Badie played in the AutoZone High School All-Star Game and was a Tennessee Titan Division II Class 3A Mr. Football nominee. Coming out of high school, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Tyler Badie was a 3-star recruit, who's the 28th best all-purpose back, 43rd best player in Tennessee, and 1,527th best player nationally. He received over 11 different Division I offers from the likes of Army, Memphis, Missouri, Navy, and Pittsburgh. Originally, Badie committed to play at Memphis before his senior year of high school, but planned to keep his options open. He was impressed with the Tigers program and head coach Mike Norvell, but thought he could play at a higher level. At the time, Missouri running back coach Cornell Ford needed a running back for depth on the roster. Ford was going name by name on Missouri's big board when he reached Tyler's name. Ford started doing some research on Badie and was impressed with what he was able to find. While watching film, he would be blown away with how fast Tyler was on the field, just running away from defenders. According to Alec Lewis from The Athletic, one play in particular, Badie ran left, broke a tackle, knifed to the sideline, and cut back towards the middle of the field. Once he walked into the end zone, Ford knew Badie could be as good as some of the more SEC-type backs he had recruited. Ford visited Badie late in the recruiting process, but told the running back that even with Missouri's depth, Badie had the opportunity to come in and play immediately. This is a line recruits hear all the time on the recruiting trail, so Ford needed to gain Badie's trust. Over time, Ford was able to develop that trust, and over the next few months, Missouri failed to secure a commitment from a running back in Badie's class. Badie took an official visit to Columbia in January, and on National Signing Day, Badie's 18th birthday might I add, Tyler chose to commit to Missouri over Memphis. Tyler told Commercial Appeal, "It's a blessing just to know that I'm taking my career to Mizzou. There's nothing like it. I just believe it was the best fit for me and my family and my future in order to chase my dreams. It wasn't anything in particular that made me choose Mizzou over Memphis. I love Memphis. Coach Mike Norvell, I just felt like Mizzou was the right fit for me." When Tyler Badie first got to Missouri, he started to turn heads with the speed and poise. According to Alec Lewis of The Athletic, not only did he succeed running the ball between the tackles, but also caught passes from Locke out of the backfield. The two developed a relationship to the point Ford bumped Badie up the depth chart. During 2-minute drills, both players worked together and Ford watched as Badie made more plays as any other running back. Badie also bumped up to 190 pounds by the time camp came to an end. During a crucial final drive against Purdue, Missouri needed a score tied with the Boilermakers at 37. Instead of putting their most experienced back into the game, the Tigers chose to put Badie in the game. With 3:23 left in the game, Drew Lock dropped back and Badie picked up a block to the right. When no one was open, Drew stepped up and Badie improvised sliding out to his left and caught the checkdown pass, taking it 20 yards down the field. The Tigers would go on to win the game. Badie finished his freshman year rushing for 437 yards and 2 touchdowns on 89 carries, while also having 130 receiving yards on 12 receptions. As a sophomore, Tyler had 457 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on 108 carries, while having 356 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns on 32 receptions. While in 2020, Badie had 242 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns on 48 carries, while also having 333 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air on 28 receptions. For 3 years, Badie played his role as the third-string running back behind Larry Roundtree and Demarie Crockett as a freshman and second-string behind Roundtree the past 2 seasons. He was never the star player in the running back room, but made the most of his opportunities. While most players might have transferred, Badie waited knowing his time would come. He told Rock M Nation, "Your time will come. I tell all the younger guys, your time might not be now, but it will come." He also told the Kansas City Star, "I believe in my actions and I believe in myself. So every day I step out there, I know I trust myself. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. I'm going to show it to you guys." It all paid off as he nearly matched his rushing yards for 2020 in the first game of the 2021 season, rushing for 203 yards and 1 touchdown, whilst having 40 receiving yards in a win over Central Michigan. A few weeks later, he rushed for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns against North Texas, and 254 yards and 2 touchdowns against Vanderbilt. Most recently, he carried Missouri past South Carolina, rushing for 209 yards and 1 touchdown, and the Tigers win over the Gamecocks. So far through 10 games, Tyler Badie has rushed for 1,247 yards and 12 touchdowns, while also having 337 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. He went from a player who was projected to be an undrafted free agent in the upcoming NFL draft to a near-lock top 100 pick. He currently has the 5th most rushing yards in a season in program history and is just 339 yards away from Devin West's all-time record that was set back in 1998 with 2+ games left of the season. Head coach Eli Drinkowitz told the Kansas City Star, "That dude's tough as nails. I mean, if there's a better running back in our conference, I can't wait to see them." Badie is not really worried about records right now though, telling the Kansas City Star, "At the end of the day, my biggest thing is just getting to a bowl game for our seniors and just finishing the season strong right now. Personally, I can't wait to see how Tyler Badie finishes the season." But what do you think? Will Tyler Badie break the Missouri single-season rushing record? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my other videos right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.